It's Morphin time!
Pterodactyl! Hi there, this is Dr. with Rangers of Wrestling bringing your AEW Rampage and Friday Night Smackdown review, and I am joined by a very special guest. Please give him a round of applause for Michael Chow TV, the host that runs the West Coast, Halloween, Michael Chow. Hi, Michael. How you doing?
I'm here. Halloween Michael Chow because my face is as colorful as a pumpkin. Why is it so red? I don't know. It's weird. But hello. I'm back. Thanks for having me back on the show.
Of course. I love having you on the show. You know, you're amazing.
I know. I'm wearing my neutral colors. Red and blue combined together make green. So I'm wearing a green shirt.
All right. So let's get into this. So AEW Rampage kicked off with Bryan Danielson versus Nick Jackson of the Young Bucks. I thought this was a great way to kick off Rampage, but it was a very good match. And of course, I'm surprised though. Bryan Danielson won by submission, making Nick Jackson tap out. What were your thoughts on that?
I thought it was a good match. I don't know a lot about was it Matt Jackson?
Nick Jackson.
I always get the two confused. Anyway, Nick Jackson. I don't know a lot about Nick Jackson, but I know everyone was saying like this was like a dream match, right? I thought it was good, but I have nothing to compare it to because I don't know a lot about the Young Bucks. I know a lot about Bryan Danielson. I gotta make sure I say it right. You know what? JR messes up all the time. He calls him Bryan all the time. It was a good match. I like it that he won with a different submission. I think that was the cattle mutilation. I think that unique double underhook over. So it was good. It was different. I thought it was good. But where do you go from here?
Maybe feuding with. That is true.
Is he gonna fight? Is Kenny Omega gonna make basically Daniel Bryan do what MJF did to Jericho? Is he gonna make him be like, you have to defeat every single member of the Elite if you want another match with me? So that would make sense. So yeah.
Well, here, let me tell you, let me ask something. I thought wins and losses matter in AEW, so why does Bryan get to just challenge Omega to a match and then get to challenge for a rematch?
Exactly. See, okay, so here's the thing about AEW that's a little bit different than WWE. WWE, and by the way, I'm Team WWE, so I'm trashing the company that I support. WWE would most likely, if it was them, they would be like, we think the fans are idiots. They'll forget about the ranking system. You remember the Smackdown top 10? That was out the door in a couple of weeks. That flew out the door. Now, AEW, they do it smart because they have a ranking system, which has been good at times, but bad. And they're basically going, well, the last time they fought wasn't for the title. So the ranking system, it didn't matter, right? Because it wasn't for the title, the ranking system doesn't matter. Now, if Daniel Bryan, as long as they say the rematch is not for the title again, you can really work around the whole ranking system, you know? So it's as long as it's not for the title again, it'll be fine. But if it is for the title, then you're like, well, why does he get to skip the line? So.
Yeah, exactly, right? Just like the winners of the Casino Battle Royal, right? I mean, they win, they get to challenge for the title, but yet they may not even be on the ranking system, right?
Not to jump the gun, because there is a casino ladder battle royale. And once again, not to jump the gun, there are some question marks. So there are some unannounced participants. That's another way how Daniel Bryan can kind of sneak into the title picture and avoid the ranking system. If he wins the casino ladder battle royale. The last time I checked, I think there's the Joker card and then 2 unannounced people. So I think one of them might be Daniel Bryan.
Some people saying Hangman might be the Joker, but okay. I don't know. I don't know. I feel like if anything, Hangman's gonna come back at AEW Revolution.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Don't you think?
Yeah. He could also. Right. Okay, so I know he's out because it's not an injury. It's because he had a kid, right?
Yes.
So theoretically, he could appear. Hangman Page can appear in the ladder match, win it, and then just leave again. Because you don't have to cash in your world title shot immediately, right? So he could pop in there, win, go on vacation, have a good time with his family, and then come back at a later time. So
I think the more likely scenario, like you said, I think Bryan's gonna be in that, and he's gonna get his rematch that way. All right. So after the match, we got the Jurassic Express Christian Cage come out because the rest of the Elite came out. The crowd started chanting Kenny No Balls, and then Bryan Danielson and Jungle Boy putting Adam Cole and Kenny Omega in respective submission holds and making them tap. What were your thoughts on that?
And that was good. I really did, because there were rumors going around that who is the true leader of the Elite? Is it Adam Cole or is it Kenny Omega? And there might be tension between them. I really thought that Kenny Omega was going to be like, Adam Cole, you're on your own, to build the tension between the two. But to his credit, he's like, all right, he's my friend. I'm going to go in there and save him. And I like the fact that both people tapped out. I would have liked it if there was like a little bit of a nitpick. It would have been great if they did a spot where Kenny Omega and Adam Cole hold hands to prevent each other from tapping out. They're like, hold my hand so I don't tap out. But yeah.
Oh, that would have been cool. I know what you're talking about. Like they hold on to each other.
Yeah.
But neither of them tap out.
So it's good. It proves that Kenny Omega has tapped out. And he might tap out again if they ever have that rematch. So it's good. I liked it. I like that booking a lot.
Nice. That's awesome. After that, we got a Ricky Starks video promo package. Basically, him saying that because Brian Cage is bigger and stronger than him doesn't mean that he's better than him. You know, what were your thoughts on this video package?
I thought, not to be completely mean, because I really like Ricky Starks, I really didn't think this video promo did it for me. Like, what is this supposed to prove? Okay, he's rich. He drives a nice car. He says Brian Cage might be stronger than him. Doesn't mean he's better than him. But then I literally, when that promo ended, I literally said, is that it? That's it? I know he's rich. I know he thinks he's better than Brian Cage. But that's it? What came out of this? He didn't challenge Brian Cage to a match. He didn't say, I'll give you one last shot at my FTW title, but then if that's it, then that's it. No, what did this promo package do? It did absolutely nothing. We don't know where this feud is going because that video package did nothing. So, yeah.
You know what? You're absolutely right. I personally like the video package. I thought it was well done, but it didn't go anywhere. It didn't say, like you said, if Ricky Starks didn't challenge Brian Cage to a match, didn't do anything pretty much.
Once again, the video itself was good. It's just that if it would have went somewhere, I would have said this was great, because the way it was filmed, it was really good. It was like watching a movie, or
did it cut off unexpectedly? Because I remember it was on, and then all of a sudden it went to commercial break.
Exactly. See, that's what I meant. It made me feel at the end, I was like, is that it? Because it was like, I like the beginning. I'm like, this is great. I like the way it was filmed. I thought it was going to lead to something big, but then that was pretty much it. And before, right, they had Powerhouse Hobbs and Hook. They're like, Ricky Starks has a big scene or a big speech for you, right? They built it up, and it's like, what did that lead to? I don't understand. Not to be harsh, I need this feud to end. I really do. Yeah. This feud hasn't been working for me. It did what I had to do to get Brian Cage out of Team Taz, but it's really overdone. It's welcome. And I think as of right now, creative is really struggling on what they want to do with Brian Cage. And
Steve Callahan says that he didn't care for it either.
Yeah, see that it didn't do it for
me. And funny that you bring that up, because like if I remember correctly, Brian Cage's wife Melissa Santos went on a rant on Twitter saying that Brian Cage isn't being booked properly and he isn't being used properly either. Would you agree with her on that?
I do agree. I feel real bad for Brian Cage. I really like him. I saw him on Dark Side of the Ring last week. He was great in that one. And it's once again, this is going to sound really harsh, but I feel like Brian Cage was an AEW experiment that really didn't work out the way they wanted it to. I mean, he's a really big guy. He does these flips in the ring. He's an incredible talent, but they're really struggling on what they want to do with Brian Cage in the future. And right now they're struggling on what they want to do with him.
That's interesting that you bring that. I never thought of it that way. And he was an experiment. So like they were trying to test the waters with this big guy to see if he got over or to see if he had it. But you're saying that he failed?
I really think the way they creatively booked it really worked against them, because the thing is, so you have Team Taz, right? You have Team Taz with Ricky Starks.
Steve Callahan says he's injury prone. That's why.
That's true too. You know, if it was Vince, he'd be done, because Vince hates people who gets hurt. Look at Dolph Ziggler. So, so they really booked it, and they really booked against themselves, because once again, Team Taz originally had Ricky Starks, it had Brian Cage, it had Powerhouse Hobbs, and it has Hook, right? Other than Ricky Starks, what do people talk about? They talk about Powerhouse Hobbs. He's the big, strong guy in the group. And when you're trying to book Brian Cage as this big guy, this strong guy, and people are talking about Powerhouse Hobbs, where does that leave you? You know what I mean? It's like you're put in a group and you want the focus to be on Brian Cage, but it seems like everyone's talking about someone else. So I feel real bad for Brian Cage. It didn't work out the way they wanted it to. And now creative is struggling on what they want to do with him. And unfortunately, he's stuck in this feud with Ricky Starks, and it's doing no one any favors. Not doing any favors for Ricky Starks. People love him, and then it'll come to a point where people they'll turn on Ricky Starks because he's stuck in this bad feud with Brian Cage.
You know, and it's funny you bring that up. So I feel like, to piggyback off what you said, I feel like if Powerhouse Hobbs wasn't in the group, it probably would have benefited Brian Cage a lot more, because then he'd be the only muscle guy in the group. So if they would have thrown somebody else in there, someone who was of like Ricky Starks and Hook, like their size, Brian Cage would have stood out more. Right?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, interesting. And you're the first person I hear to bring that up.
Oh, thank you. And I brought it up on your show, so there you go. Tune in.
Yeah, definitely. All right. So then after that, we get a 3-way no DQ match between Thunder Rosa, Nyla Rose, and Jade Cargill. First of all, I thought this was a good match. The ladies definitely killed it. Jade Cargill showing her dominance by winning this match. And I have to say, I think they're building up Jade Cargill to be women's champion.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon. I think it's going to happen probably at Double or Nothing. I think what needs to happen is for Britt Baker to run through the division, defeat all the women. I don't know how that's going to happen, but to defeat mostly all the women, and then have Jade Cargill destroy her, basically. That's how I see it. But how would hashtag Michael Chow Creative book that?
No, that's actually good. I'd book it the way you booked it. So good. Yeah, I would love it if they did that. And one great way to turn, when they're ready to turn Britt Baker into a major babyface is have her face Jade Cargill, and Jade Cargill do a Brody Lee on Cody. Have Jade Cargill just absolutely make it a quick match and destroy Britt Baker. And there you go. Also, okay, so here's the thing. If they're not building up Jade Cargill to go after the women's main championship, there's rumor going around they're going to create a TBS championship for the women's division. And if it's anything like the TNT championship, where it's an open match, an open challenge every single week, that is straight up Jade Cargill's, alley for her being undefeated.
I can see that.
Yeah.
Kind of like Miro.
Definitely.
And then whoever beats her is going to get a massive push or be put over, so to speak. Right? Because then she'll...
Yeah. I could also see Thunder Rosa actually being the first person to defeat Jade Cargill, because the thing is, Jade Cargill won because she hit Thunder Rosa with a whole bunch of chair shots, right?
Yeah.
Now, what happens when it's just a one-on-one match? Will Jade Cargill still be able to do the same? I think they were really smart in making this a triple threat, no DQ match, because then it kind of keeps Thunder Rosa strong in the fact that if Jade Cargill didn't have that chair, would she had still won? So smart, but yeah.
Yeah. I'm very curious to see where all this goes to. Like you said, they can do it in many ways. They can do Britt Baker versus Jade Cargill, Britt Baker versus Thunder Rosa, Jade Cargill versus Thunder Rosa. Jade Cargill is female Lesnar, Steve Callahan says.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, definitely. I think they're definitely building her up. Definitely. Like you said, she's either going to be the inaugural TBS Women's Champion, or she's going to dethrone Britt Baker. So we'll see. We'll see what that goes. And then in the main event, we get the hair versus hair match. It was hair versus hair match. It was Jack Evans versus Orange Cassidy. The loser had their head shaved.
Oh.
So basically, Matt Hardy tried his best to allow Jack Evans to win this match, but that didn't happen. Orange Cassidy emerged victorious, which meant that poor little Jack Evans had to cut his hair. And to add insult to injury, Hardy and the rest of HFO just left him in there by himself. What were your thoughts on this?
I thought it was a big shout out to Jack Evans. He did a lot better than I thought he was. He's really underrated. All of those flips, I was like, wow, where has this guy been? So it was good. It was an okay main event for Rampage. If you wouldn't see this on Dynamite as the main event.
Steve Callahan said Matt should have had his hair shaved.
Yeah. So I wasn't a big fan of the fact that, Orange Cassidy won by a distraction. Why couldn't Orange Cassidy just won because he won, Yeah. And I would have preferred it if Matt Hardy was basically the reason why Jack Evans lost. It was the distraction, right? But I would have liked it if Matt Hardy was actually involved in Jack Evans losing. Then the argument could be made that Matt Hardy was the one who made the match, and he's also the reason why Jack Evans lost the match too. I don't know where they're going with this. Are they moving toward Jack Evans leaving the Matt Hardy, office? Are they going to start a feud between Jack Evans and Matt Hardy? I don't know. Is the whole group going to fall apart? Are they doing a Dark Order type scenario thing?
I don't know. Honestly, I don't know where they're going with this. But that being said, what would you rate AEW Rampage tonight on a scale of 1 to 5?
1 to 5. It was a good show. It was. I'm trying to think. There wasn't anything I hated on there. I liked Bryan Danielson versus Nick Jackson.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. That match was good. I think we forgot to bring up CM Punk, right? He made a fast appearance on the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Steve Callahan gives it a 4 out of 5, 7 out of 10. Ooh.
Yeah, no, that's a good score.
Yeah,
that is a good score. I'm not trying to sound mean, but it's just Jack Evans versus Orange Cassidy in a hair versus hair match. I don't know. It just doesn't scream main event for me.
You think they should have switched it? You think the hair versus hair match should have opened Rampage and then have Bryan versus Nick Jackson at the end?
I think the reason why they did that is because the stipulation of hair versus hair, to them, they think it's a main event gimmick. And plus, I guess...
it could be. It could be, depending on how it's booked.
Yeah, I'm not trying to sound mean, but it's just... If I feel like it would have been a bigger main event if it was Matt Hardy versus Orange Cassidy. The thing is, Jack Evans... I don't remember the last time I saw him. Doesn't he primarily just stay on AEW
I think you just buried Jack Evans.
Yeah, I feel really bad, but I don't remember the last time Jack Evans even had a match on Dynamite, right? Or Rampage.
Michael Chow taking out that golden shovel of his.
Yeah, hey, Jack Evans buried himself, all right? But it was a good main event for Rampage, all right? Okay. But I'm not trying to sound mean, but you would not have seen that match main event Dynamite. Okay,
no, it would not. That would have opened Dynamite.
Yeah, but you know what? 4 out of 5. That's a fair. Yeah,
score. 4 out of 5, 7 out of 10. That's a Rose Montana high 7. Definitely.
Perfect. There you go.
Perfect. Alrighty. So that concludes the AEW Rampage review. Now we're gonna talk about your favorite show of the night, WWE Smackdown.
I gotta be completely honest. Smackdown was actually okay. It wasn't okay. It's the lesser of the 3 evils of WWE, so
Yes, the lesser of the 3 evils.
Mm-hmm.
But it's still better than Raw.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, everything's better than Raw. Freaking 205 Live is better than Raw, despite the fact that they have heavyweights and female superstars on 205 Live. Why do they still call it 205 Live?
I don't know.
Doesn't make sense anymore.
Alrighty, so SmackDown kicked off with night 1 of the draft.
Ooh.
And we found out that the draft, it doesn't go into effect for 3 weeks after October 22nd. So thank you for spoiling Crown Jewel for us now, because anybody who is a champion on Raw that got drafted over to SmackDown, we know they're going to lose. Steve Callahan saying SmackDown was meh, and Swerve saying that he agrees.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they did this once before. They had it was either a superstar shakeup or a draft a couple of years ago where they said it didn't go into effect until after a backlash. So it's kind of spoiled a lot of the matches. And
Yeah.
they need to go back to having the draft after WrestleMania because they used to do that, right? I don't know why they feel like they need to have the draft like literally right before Survivor Series because why are you invested in brand versus brand when you're just literally you just got on the brand? Like, why should you
Steve
care?
Callahan saying, so Becky going to Raw because Charlotte is on SmackDown. Maybe. Mm-hmm. You have to wait until on Raw.
Yeah, but it's like you said, we still have Crown Jewel. There could be, Bianca BelAir, not to jump the gun, was drafted to Raw, right? So she could theoretically win the title off Becky and then take that title to Monday Night Raw.
Wasn't there one instance a couple years ago where the respective champions just switched titles? I think it was Street Profits and the New Day, right? They literally were backstage and they handed the titles to each other, didn't they?
They did. Yeah, they did. It was dumb, but yes.
Yeah. All right. So to kick things off, we learned that in the first round of the draft, Roman Reigns got drafted to SmackDown. Big shocker there.
Yeah. You know, honestly, I was really, really shocked because Raw needs ratings. And right now, honestly, Roman Reigns is the best thing on all WWE shows. I had a small inkling that Roman Reigns might have actually possibly go to Raw. But if what I'm hearing is true, believe it or not, Fox and USA, they actually do like talk to WWE because if Fox knows in real life, you know, beyond the show, if Fox knows that Roman Reigns is a huge ratings grab, there's no way they're going to let him go to USA. You know what I mean?
If I'm not mistaken, USA was upset that Roman, Lesnar, and Becky were on SmackDown.
Yeah, I would too, because they're massive ratings draw. So
Steve Callahan says, may not watch Crown Jewel now. I don't blame you. I'm not watching that either. I'm going to be at work.
I don't remember the last time Crown Jewel was any good, if I can be completely honest.
Wasn't it 1 year? I don't know if it was last year or the year. No, it wasn't last year. It could have been the year prior. Wasn't there 1 year where they did a little segment where supposedly Fox executive were like backstage and they had like them in an office and they were picking drafts? Supposedly, didn't they do that?
I hated it. I hated it so much. It was so stupid. And by the way, I'm not trying to sound mean, but one draft pick that really like made me cringe. And I'm not trying to sound mean because I really like her. I think she's a hard worker. But I remember that they had announced that SmackDown had drafted Natalya, and the whole boardroom lost their mind. Yeah, we got Natalya. Yeah, the Fox robot was losing its freaking mind.
I remember the Fox robot.
I was like, oh my gosh, calm down. Natalya.
All about the blood.
All about the blood money, Vince. Yeah.
So we also learned that in the first round, WWE champion Big E is getting drafted to Raw. Again, big shocker there. Shocker. This one came as a surprise. Raw Women's Champion Charlotte Flair got drafted over to SmackDown.
So
that means she's going to lose her Raw title.
We don't know. They're always changing stuff year to year. She might actually not to jump the gun, but at the end, Michael Cole kept on saying like, "Oh, both women's championships will be on SmackDown." It's like, yeah, right. Something's gonna go down. So.
Or like, Steve Callahan said Becky might go to Raw and they might just switch titles.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Becky Lynch brought up, and I brought this up too. Becky Lynch never lost the Raw Women's title. She just relinquished it.
We don't know where Becky's going. We have no idea where Sasha's going. There is a chance if Sasha and Bianca go to Raw that they could potentially just take the title off her. Really?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. All right. So that concluded the first round draft picks.
Yeah.
After that, we get Roman Reigns coming out to the ring and says that the back of the shirt says they are the ones because he is number one. And that he wants Baltimore to acknowledge him.
That is going to be the thing that turns on babyface. There's going to be a time where he goes, acknowledge me. Because I think last time he said it, people actually started chanting Roman. So there will be a time where this will actually work as a babyface for him.
To think they're actually finally get what they wanted. A babyface Roman that's cheered.
I know, right? So
it only took him 6 years.
6 straight main events at WrestleMania. So finally.
Yep. And Paul Heyman says that it was not loud enough for Reigns, and he wanted them to cheer again. And then guess who comes out? Guess who comes out?
Was it Finn Balor?
No.
Was it the ghost that pushed Finn Balor off the top rope?
No.
By the way, can I? I'm sorry to cut you off. Okay. Can I jump the gun? They never brought up Finn Balor falling off the top rope. They never brought up an explanation, right? Unless I went to the bathroom, right? They never addressed what happened because WWE thinks the fans are absolutely dumb. WWE completely MIB'd, flashed the entire fans, and they're just like, you guys are freaking stupid. We get your money no matter what. We owe you no explanation on what happened to Finn Balor, nor are we going to bring it up. So, yeah.
Yeah. Brock Lesnar comes out and confronts Roman Reigns. He gets in his face, right? And Roman attacks him, and Lesnar takes him to Suplex City. Then the Usos come out and try to help their cousin Roman, but they end up getting F5s, and Roman just walks away. What are your thoughts on that?
I'm saying he's as smart as Matt Hardy. He's like, nope, Usos, you're on your own. Sorry. That's it. I'm out of here. I did like it. I like the fact that Roman Reigns tried to fight Brock Lesnar. He could have done the typical heel thing where he's like, I'm just going to bail out. I'll see you at Crown Jewel.
Yeah. But, Steve Callahan says WWE equals world wasted effort. Ooh, that's a good one. That's the first one. Next, we had Kevin Owens versus Happy Corbin. And we got introduced to Happy Corbin's newest associate, Madcap Moss, formerly Roderick Moss. Michael.
I hate this character now. I actually, you know what? When he was broke, I was like, this could potentially, honestly, you know what? Baron Corbin doesn't get enough credit. That whole poor gimmick, he actually acted the hell out of it. He's actually a pretty good actor, and I thought this would have been a good. He got me to
feel sorry for him.
Perfect, right? This, give it to WWE to waste a potential storyline that could have worked. This could have been a good. Corbin. Yeah, now it is that they turned him heel. I don't understand. This could have been. There was like one episode, right, where he was asking Kevin Owens for money, and Kevin Owens ended up giving him money. He was so appreciative. I'm like, okay, he's finally learning that if he is good to people, that karma will come back, and that he might get his money back, right? And I think he got shot in the dick by a tank, and then Dolph Ziggler and Bobby Roode stole his money. I thought that was going to lead to a feud with them, and then they kind of just dropped it, turned him back heel. They had this weird episode with Logan Paul, which I thought was going to lead to like a match, which Logan Paul never returned. So it was weird. I hate this inclusion with Riddick Moss. I don't think people even knew who he was. He was gone for so long. I actually forgot that he actually worked for the company, not to be mean against Riddick Moss, but it's, it is, you know what? Riddick Moss, okay? There's a difference between Baron Corbin. His acting is quite good, but man, Riddick Moss, it's so overboard. His acting is horrible. I hate it. If he's trying to get people to be annoyed by them, then good job. I hate this team. I can't believe they got drafted so high up on the draft pool. I hate this gimmick. Yeah, I used to like Happy Corbin. Now I hate him.
Swerve saying, I would think former King Callahan would acknowledge former King Corbin.
There you go.
Oh my God, Swerve. Now was at SummerSlam, and people were actually were trying to give money to Baron Corbin.
Yeah, see, that could have been a good gimmick.
No, you know what I would have liked to see at SummerSlam? Instead of having him face Big E, this is how I would have done it. I would have had, instead of having Baron Corbin steal the Money in the Bank, I would have had Big E tell, feel bad for Corbin. Be like, okay, I'll give you an opportunity. I'll put my money in the bank on the line, and then have Corbin, do this whole video package of him trying to get to Allegiant Stadium at Las Vegas. He's hitchhiking because he doesn't have enough money for a flight or a bus ride, so he's trying to hitchhike, and and meanwhile Big E is standing in the middle of the ring, And by the time, he got there, his match was like over or SummerSlam was over. I would have liked to seen that instead of the angle that they gave us at SummerSlam.
Yeah, I totally agree.
I think
better
that
than
would
what
have
we
made,
got.
yeah, definitely. I would have liked to see that. And I thought that's what they were going. Like, have Biggie put his money in the bank on briefcase on the line, and then have Corbin go through all these things just to try to get to the arena, only for him to arrive there super late, and his match is over. He lost by no show, and then sad Corbin continues. I would have liked to see that, and I was hoping we would see it, but we didn't.
I think there would have been a good gimmick where he gets paid money to do stuff that would always like get him into trouble or would be like just so bad for him. Like have Roman Reigns be really pissed off one night and Roman's like, put me in a match with anyone, right? And Adam Pearce just go like, Corbin, I will give you a bonus tonight, but you have to be in a match with a pissed off Roman Reigns. And he's like, well, I need money, this and that, this and that. And then just do other stuff that make Corbin look like an idiot, and then have keep paying him money.
They could have done an angle where like Roman, kind of like Triple H when he put that hit out on Goldberg and he offered money. They could have done something similar like that, right?
But instead, we got that stupid angle where the money or the World Championship Money in the Bank contract in which everyone ran out and started putting their name on the contract because that's how contracts work, right? You just write your name on there.
I hate it. Keep Brock Corbin too. Oh, well, I like Brock Corbin. All right, so of course, Baron Corbin won his match with the End of Days, or as it's called now, the Happy Days. What do you think of the name change? Makes me think of that TV show, Happy Days.
Hey, fun. Hey.
And then after that, we got round 2 of the drop picks. Drew McIntyre going to SmackDown.
Cool.
Rated RK. RK Bro, shocker there, stayed on Raw. New Day went to SmackDown, and Edge got drafted over to Raw.
Oh no, New Day is split up again. Oh no, next week.
For 2 years, I was done. Yeah, that's true. Corbin was king for 2 years.
Because they didn't have another tournament, which, not to jump the gun, the tournament's returning apparently at Crown Jewel. So, yeah.
Yeah. Alrighty. So then after that, we get an Edge segment. Basically, he thanks Baltimore for the reaction, or actually split up New Day. Yeah, they actually did. And he said he's the only talent that was on the first episode of SmackDown to be there.
Yay, cool.
That's
Congrats.
crazy when you think about it. Kind of like how the Undertaker for the longest was the only wrestler to be on the first episode of Monday Night Raw and still be in the WWE.
Yeah, he'll be back. Here comes the Saudi Arabia payday.
Michael. All right, and then he said he wanted a new challenge. He said he's excited to go to Raw because he wants a new challenge, new opponents, and that he says that if he accepts right now over Seth Rollins' match, Seth Rollins would have an advantage, and that he's not. And then Seth Rollins appears on the Titantron, saying that if Edge wasn't announcing that he was retiring and not accepting his challenge, why was he there? And then it was revealed that Seth Rollins was at Edge's house, which, by the way, who leaves their door unlocked? Seth Rollins just walked in there and was chilling on Edge's what is that, like, chair, drinking his juice. I'm pretty sure that's a crime.
It would have been so funny if he accidentally went to the wrong house.
Imagine. Yeah. Steve Callahan saying that how Seth was at Edge's house. Yeah, it would have been funny if he went to the wrong house. He's not the first superstar to go to somebody's house, and I'm pretty sure he's not going to be the last.
Mm-hmm.
After that, we had Carmella versus Liv Morgan. This was totally pointless.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing I took away from this was that Carmella put on a face mask, very reminiscent of Sheamus, or some people on Twitter were saying of The Mask, the Jim Carrey movie. And she called Liv Morgan the BITCH. So what were your thoughts on this?
My thoughts on this is another feud like Brian Cage and Ricky Starks that needs to end. Like, it served its purpose. I'm not trying to sound mean because I don't think Carmella gets enough credit. She's a very hard worker. She's actually quite good on the mic. Her reign as women's champion, she was dealt a wrong hand, and they don't know what to do with them. They really don't. They never know what to do with the women's division. So hopefully, this so-called Queen of the Ring tournament, which I think they call it, the Queen's Crown, will do something for the both of them. So we'll see. But I agree with you. This was a pointless match. Not that I'm saying that the women's match on SmackDown are pointless, but I'm just saying, what was this supposed to do, really?
Yeah, exactly. Did anybody even win this match? I didn't write down a winner.
So I had missed it. I went to go get something to eat. I came back. No, the thing is, I saw a ref in the ring. I saw Carmella give Liv Morgan the X Factor / Bella Buster / whatever move they keep on switching. And she didn't go for the pin. So I don't know. Did she attack her before the match started? Because there was a ref in the ring.
Yeah, so she attacked her before the match started. Steve Callahan says Shirley winning the tournament. Don't put that evil out there. But I could see that. So after that, we got the third round of draft picks. Happy Corbin and Madcap Moss are getting drafted to SmackDown. The women's tag team champions, Rhea Ripley and Nikki ASH, are getting drafted to Raw, but it really doesn't matter because they can go anywhere.
I think it's because when they lose their title, they're supposed to go to whatever show they were drafted to. I think that's why.
Yeah. Hit Row getting drafted over to SmackDown.
Oh no. Horrible idea.
You don't like Hit Row?
Well, the only swerve around here is the swerve in the chat room, all right? But
yeah, definitely. Swerve Show is the only swerve.
Swerve Show is the only swerve around here. Here's the thing. I like
He's
Swerve
my favorite
Scott.
Swerve.
My favorite swerve too. Hit Row, they're not ready. They're not ready. Swerve Scott is ready. But by the way, okay, so I'm confused. Swerve Scott is, and I don't think you watch anymore, Datila, but Swerve Scott is the current North American champion. So is he dropping the title? What's going on here? So other than that, I gotta say, I don't think Hit Row is ready. B-Fab.
Ooh, Michael getting called out. How don't you like the Hit Row?
Okay, so here's the thing. I like Swerve Scott. There is a lot of potential for oh God, I forgot who. It's the guy who's not Top Dollar. It's not B-Fab, but the third guy, Adonis. There's a lot of potential for him. Top Dollar has potential as a big guy. B-Fab, I'm sorry, this is gonna sound incredibly harsh. She had 2 matches in NXT. They were both really, really bad. Hopefully, she could be a manager for the group. I like their style. I like what the group is about. I just don't trust them with Vince. I really don't. Swerve Scott, the leader of the group, is really going to have to really lead this team. But I just really don't think...
Callahan said B-Fab, more like B-Blab.
You got that right. He really got that point. I'm sorry. If you haven't seen her matches, Datila, don't. It is really bad. Some of the worst matches I've ever seen. She's not ready. Other than Swerve Scott and Adonis, I don't think the group alone is ready. So I just don't think that they're ready. Okay, they need some more time in NXT. I like Hit Row. I like the theme music. I like what their group is about. I just don't think that they're ready to be on the main roster yet. Or Scott is, but I just don't think the rest is.
Well, at least they went to SmackDown. Could have been worse. They could have gone to Raw. Caesar saying, well, the options from Hit Row on Nickelodeon NXT, it isn't relevant.
Yeah, it's not. They're in a bad feud with Santos Escobar and his group. It's just, we'll have to wait and see. The shining light here is that they went to SmackDown. And hopefully they do something with them. So yeah. We'll see.
So the final pick from the third round was Keith Lee getting drafted over to Monday Night
Bobcat.
Raw.
Don't forget.
Bobcat.
Bobcat. Good Lord.
Bobcat, Bearcat, you mean?
I think it's Bobcat.
No, it's Bearcat. Bearcat.
Keith Kitty Cat Lee is going to Monday Night Raw. So much potential. I'm sorry. He should have went to SmackDown. There's a lot of potential of Keith Lee. Vince does not know what he's doing. He should have went to SmackDown.
He doesn't. You've been doing this how long? Almost 5 years?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We've had this conversation before. Steve Callahan said, still don't matter. Cesar Mejia says, I think El Lego de Fantasma is going to Raw. Ooh, I wouldn't be surprised if that happens.
Yeah, I really like Santos Escobar. I really do. I think he has the potential to be the next Alberto Del Rio. Besides the personal controversy, as far as Alberto Del Rio being a future world champion, I really like Santos Escobar. I really do. I think there's a big future with him. So
nice. After that, we had an 8-man tag match. It was Alpha Academy and the Dirty Dawgz versus the New Day and Street Profits. Of course, Montez Ford is a star in the making. He definitely is. Last week, him main eventing proved that he's definitely a star. I think he was definitely the MVP in this match. Of course, Street Profits and the New Day pick up the win. What were your thoughts on this?
I think it was good. Like literally at the end of the match, you're like, wow, this is SmackDown's tag team division. I mean, Vince hates tag teams, but if this is the future of SmackDown's tag team division, these are really good teams. Montez Ford, I agree with you. He has a huge future as a single star. And my goodness, are they sleeping on Chad Gable? Chad Gable was so good in this match. I can't believe they never went all the way with Chad Gable. I understand Vince doesn't like short guys, but man, Chad Gable, he has something here. He has the potential to be the next Kurt Angle, but because he's small, it works against him. So
yeah. Caesar saying Santos Escobar versus Damian Priest? ? I'll buy it. So would I. I think that would be one hell of a match. So a couple of things we learned before we get to the fourth round. We learned that Lesnar is a free agent thanks to his good friend Paul Heyman. Then after that, Reigns questions Heyman about it and tells Heyman that he wants him to go to Monday Night Raw and ensure the Usos stay on SmackDown. And not only that, he's sending the Usos with Paul Heyman. What were your thoughts on this?
I thought the line where he says, if you guys don't get drafted to SmackDown, leave them for dead was a little bit. I don't know if Roman made that up on the fly, but wow, that's quite the line.
Yeah.
You know what? It's so I if I could address a couple of things about the draft. For once, SmackDown went first in the draft. And another thing is they got rid of that whole thing that I hated where Raw got 2 draft picks per round. Remember how it used to go Raw, SmackDown, then Raw, and that would be the round? They didn't do it here. They used to say that the reason why Raw gets 2 draft picks per round is because it has a third hour, but they don't use their huge roster. So many underrated people go to main event and stuff. They don't use the third hour to push all of the extra superstars to get in drafts.
Yeah. Oh, I'm so glad you brought that up. And yeah, you're right. I like how this was a perfect 2 each. Mm-hmm. It was 2 for SmackDown, 2 for Raw for each round. I like that. I really like that. And I remember that.
I think they're going to reverse it. So on Raw, I think Raw is going to go first. So it makes sense. SmackDown is their show. So SmackDown goes first in the draft. And then once they go to Raw, I think Raw will be the first overall draft pick. And then SmackDown. And then, so on, so on. Another thing is, so this year, they didn't announce the draft pool in advance. So we don't know who's eligible for the draft. Because you remember how, like...
Didn't Vince McMahon once say everybody was eligible whether you were injured or not?
Oh, no, not that. It's like, so they did something different for the last couple of years because it makes sense. Because if you don't do this, then they would draft all of the top stars and all the mid-carders and low-carders. They would never make it on TV. They would do a draft poll where they would basically go like, hey, so the first night, you can only draft Roman Reigns and maybe the tag team champions. And then on night 2, Becky Lynch is eligible for the draft. You know what I mean? So they keep 2 draft polls where you can pick from. Otherwise, once again, all of the top stars will go on the live TV shows and all the mid-carders and low-cards will never make it onto live draft. So this year is the first year in a couple of years they didn't announce the draft pool in advance. So this entire time I'm thinking like, when are they going to draft Becky Lynch? Right? Because I assume they didn't tell us, but I assume that Becky Lynch is going in the second draft poll on night number 2. So
yeah. Me too. So Cesar Mejia is saying, I'd rather Chad Gable with Drew Gulak. Where is Drew Gulak? Steve Callahan said no Raw, no 3 picks. Steve Callahan said was 3 picks for Raw before. Yeah, definitely.
Yep.
Definitely.
Yeah, Drew Gulak is really doing nothing right now. I really liked it when Drew Gulak used to do his PowerPoints. And whether you liked him or not, I really enjoyed Drew Gulak when he was with Enzo. I really did, because they really balanced off each other really, really good. It was great. But Enzo, he's gone. I doubt he'll ever be back. All controversy
Never say
aside.
never.
Never say never, but there was a lot of controversy surrounding his personal life. And even though it was proven not true, he also did some other stuff. He tried to rush the ring during Survivor Series. I don't know if you heard about that news. He was at Survivor Series, but it was after he lost his job and he was trying to rush the ring. Attendance. Remember that? Yeah. So I don't think they want, and plus he's not the type of superstar where you're like, well, we better get him back. You know what I mean? Yeah. So yeah.
No Fly Zone was great. Caesar. Yeah. Oh yeah, I remember that. No Fly Zone.
He put out a great tweet when Finn Balor, which they choose not to acknowledge, when Finn Balor fell off the top rope. Drew Gulak put out a great tweet where he goes, "You see, this is what happens when you don't respect the No Fly Zone." So that was a great tweet. So,
yeah. All right. So in the fourth round of the draft, we learned Naomi got drafted to SmackDown. Shocker there.
Mm-hmm.
The Mysterios, Rey Mysterio and his son Dominic, are going to Raw.
Oh.
Jeff Hardy going over to SmackDown.
Good. I was actually really happy with this draft pick.
Yes. And last but certainly not least, Austin Theory is going to Monday Night Raw.
Who the hell is that?
He's at NXT.
See? I know that NXT superstars are going to be in this draft, but honestly, for people who don't watch NXT, they're going to be like, who is Austin Theory? Because he hasn't. Or, okay, I totally forgot. Do you remember Austin Theory? He used to be on Raw. Remember, he used to be with Zelina Vega?
Yes.
Oh, my gosh. So he went to NXT, and now he's coming back. So, yeah, it is what it is.
All right. In the main event, it was Sasha Banks versus Bianca BelAir in what was being dubbed, a WrestleMania rematch without the title. Of course, this match was good. Was it as great as a WrestleMania match? No, it wasn't. Still a really good match. Sasha Banks with that victory because Becky Lynch grabbed Bianca's hair. And then, of course, Charlotte came out at the end and attacked everybody, concluding SmackDown. What were your thoughts on that?
If I could say, this is going to sound completely harsh, the commentary during this match was absolutely horrible. To a point that it was annoying. It really was. Becky Lynch, she might be good on the mic when it's scripted and when she kind of when it matters. But when she's just doing commentary, I'm sorry, she's not so good. Not so good. The commentary team didn't do such a good job I wouldn't say this is the word, but maintaining Becky. It was the commentary during this match was really, really bad. I really disliked it. Other than that, the match, it wasn't as good as the WrestleMania match. Guess they're trying to keep Bianca strong by having Becky interfere. I wasn't expecting Charlotte to come out and lay everyone out. But it is what it is. And yeah, the match was fine. The ending was fine. This draft, honestly, it wasn't so bad. I liked it better than last year's, and I am just so glad that Stephanie McMahon once again did not announce all of the draft picks, because last year that was horrible.
Yeah, Cesar Mejia saying the way it's going to Raw. Yeah, probably. The way to NXT. Yeah. Honestly, this year's draft wasn't so bad compared to previous year's drafts that we've gotten.
You know what? Honestly, they should have just had Sonya Deville take over SmackDown and Adam Pearce take over Raw, because I'm still not on board. I know everyone thinks that Baron Corbin destroyed the whole general manager thing, but bear in mind, he's not the one who writes the scripts. So I actually like general managers. I really do. And
did you like the anonymous general manager?
I didn't.
Celebrity guest general managers?
Nope, didn't like those. Flavor of the weeks. I only liked it when it was actually athletes, because I feel like they can actually do something, or when they were actual fans. When you have people who don't watch wrestling and you come in there and you have someone like Jeremy Piven called SummerSlam Summerfest.
Oh God, giving me flashbacks here.
It is what it is. But I think they need to bring back general managers. They had they dropped it, right? They had Sonya Deville, and it looked like her and Adam Pearce had issues with each other, and then they just dropped it.
Yeah, I thought Adam Pearce feuding with Roman was going to lead to Adam Pearce getting taken out, and then have Sonya Deville completely take over. and that tension that they was building between them, I thought that was, but like you said, they just totally dropped it.
That really could have worked to an angle where anyone, Stephanie McMahon, Vince McMahon comes out here and says, say, hey, listen, you two are not getting along. So here's what's going to happen. Sonya, you're going to take one show. Adam Pearce, you're going to take another show. And then next month during Survivor Series, we'll see who the better authority figure is, right? That would have been a great way
You mean kind of like how he did when Stephanie and Shane couldn't get along? He put Shane in charge of SmackDown and Stephanie in charge of Raw.
You know what? Back when it was Shane McMahon and who was it? Was it Daniel
Bryan? Yeah, it was Daniel Bryan.
And it was Stephanie and Mick Foley. That was actually good. It really was. They should bring it back. No McMahons, but bring back someone. Mick Foley, he's got nothing to do. Bring him back. Shawn Michaels, get him out of NXT's hair. All right, make the general manager of SmackDown.
Definitely. So, what would you rate tonight's SmackDown?
You know what? Out of 1 to 5, I would give it a 4 out of 5, borderline 3, because I thought the draft was better than last year's, and there wasn't a lot in this show that made me cringe or say, "Wow, this is why SmackDown is a bad show." You know what I mean?
Callahan said 3 out of 5, 5 out of 10.
Yeah, that's a fair score. I'm giving it like an above average because I thought the draft this year was better. I thought the main event was okay, and yeah, there wasn't a lot. I really liked that tag team match. I really did. That was a great tag team match. I really like Brock Lesnar saying that I'm a free agent, so I can go wherever I want. That could open up possibilities. If Bobby Lashley can get that title back, it could lead to a dream match between Bobby Lashley and Brock Lesnar. So I like the fact that Brock Lesnar says he can go on any show. He's not going to go to NXT, but he can go on any show. So
would it help NXT if he went to NXT?
I think it would. He doesn't have to appear every single week, but to have Brock Lesnar appear on NXT, it's something big. So
Caesar saying, honestly, with the SmackDown roster and the additions from Lesnar and the draft, they can make a better show. Yeah, that's true. They can. For me, I'd give it a 3.5 out of 5.
Yeah.
Because, like you said, the draft was good. I had no issues with the draft. I think the way they did it this year was good compared to previous years. The main event was okay. It was good. Wasn't as good as WrestleMania, but it was good. The reason why I give it a 3.5 is because I really didn't need to see Carmella versus Liv Morgan. You take that match out of this equation, and I probably would have given it a 4.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
so good. I mean, SmackDown, once again, it's the lesser of the 3 evils. It's the preferred show. I like it better than NXT and Raw. Definitely better than Raw. Jeez. But yeah, we'll see.
What was a better show, Rampage or SmackDown?
Rampage. Are you kidding me? I don't care what the draft was. I don't care. Oh my gosh. Rampage was definitely the better show, and it's only an hour long. So
it was actually it flew by quick.
It did.
Steve Callahan saying great review as always. Thanks, Steve Callahan.
Thank you.
Yeah, definitely. I do think Rampage was a better show. It was only an hour. Flew by quick. I definitely would have switched the hair versus hair match with the Bryan Danielson versus Nick Jackson match to me. That's just me. I don't know how other people would do it, but I would have switched those 2 matches. But like you said, to them, hair versus hair was a big stipulation. So it main evented.
I'm surprised.
I hate the hair versus hair match.
Yeah.
Randy Viper saying SmackDown way better. Triple Threat could have been a main event. Oh, that's true. You could have even switched the hair versus hair match and the ladies match too, and it still would have been. Yeah, but like you said, the hair versus hair in their eyes was probably the bigger stipulation. So that's probably why it went last.
I think they also wanted, because I don't think a lot of people know that Rampage and Dynamite are taped on the same night. So I think they wanted to have that whole thing with, was it -1 at the end with all of them in the ring?
Yeah. So, because they were in Rochester, which is Brody Lee's hometown. All right, so as we get ready to wrap up, Michael, do you have anything to plug, promote? I know you went to go see Venom tonight, so
I did. I saw Venom yesterday. I'm gonna film a review. Honestly, I'm gonna film the review right after I get off this show because I need to edit it and try and get it out either tomorrow or Sunday. I'm not gonna spoil anything, but there is a huge after credit scene that you guys all need to watch. It's probably the best thing about that movie. And yeah, you guys can check me out on social media and my YouTube channel right here at Mach Chow TV. I put up content every other day. Go check it out.
Yes, definitely. You put out such great content. I think my
Thank
favorite,
you.
one of my most favorite ones recently was when you did the Try Not to Laugh challenge.
Yeah.
I would have felt that. Let me tell you, I would have felt that because I was laughing the whole time too.
I actually filmed another one. It's coming out soon, and it's actually thanks to one of my trolls. When someone made a comment that said, "I'm so cringe." So guess what? I did.
I saw that comment.
I did a try not to cringe challenge. So thank you, a troll. So yeah.
Cesar Mejia saying Angelico and Jack Evans are a great tag team with HFO. They are a joke. That's true. Bye guys. Shout out for Mex. Oh, from Mexico.
Wow. Tatiana, look at you. Your show's gone international.
Soy una estrella internacional. No, just kidding. I'm not an international superstar yet. Pero muchas gracias por mirar mi show. Yo soy americana de Mexican descent. So, yeah, I'm of Mexican descent. You know that.
Of course, yes.
You know that, yeah.
See.
Swershow saying cool. Yes, definitely. Definitely. Next time you do a try not to laugh, I want in. I want to see how long I can last before I laugh.
Mm.
And then Cesar Mejia saying, yo aquí gustando mi inglés. Pues hiciste muy bien. I like your English. All right. So that being said, please don't forget to like and subscribe, and make sure you hit that bell to get notified whenever we go live. And thanks again so much for watching, everybody. If you continue to watch, make sure you check out Michael Chow's review on Venom, which I'm sure will be amazing, just like all his other previous reviews.
Thank
Así
you.
que Alejandro say no speak Spanish. Woo! Sorry. There's an ambulance.
Well, it's because it is night 1 of the draft. So there you go. They're going to the right place.
Yeah. Oh, and not to mention, Smackdown's probably going to end in like 10 minutes on our time.
Right? Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. All right. Well, like I said, thank you guys all so much for watching. And maybe Michael will join me for Monday Night Raw to discuss night 2.
Why would I put myself through that?
Are you going to
no.
Michael?
If you want me to be on Monday Night Raw, I will be there, just so we can complete this whole draft thing. The draft is 2 nights. Yeah, if you want me to be on the show, I will be there. Oh, it's gonna be something.
You're gonna torture yourself.
You know what? It's not gonna be as good as this show tonight. I'm gonna tell you right now. The 4 out of 5, it's not gonna be as good. I don't know.
But I would definitely like for you to compare. We definitely could compare both.
Yeah,
night 1 versus night 2.
All right, I guess I'll be there, guys. I'll see you on Monday.
We'll see you guys on Monday for night 2 of the draft. And poor Michael is going to torture himself watching 3 hours of Monday Night Raw. Alrighty then. Bye, everybody.
Bye, guys. Thanks so much.